So there's like this massive tsunami of salt on the Twitter right now. I mean, there are a lot of blue check marks which could have chosen any flavor they wanted, but they chose it to be salty. And this comes with apparently this news that the Marvel chairman, Ike Perlmutter, had the audacity to transgress. He donated $15 million to Trump's super PAC. That you have to understand, this would not normally be a story. No one cares. I mean, companies have this ability to donate money to whomever they want, but apparently the Washington Post casually dropped the info that his wife and himself donated $15 million to America First. Oh no. I haven't seen the stories though about the chairmans that donated to Act Blue, as if it would even matter, but it's like, okay, well, if this is the way the game is played, who are we not to report on it? Basically, the main issue with this is that Marvel, to call it a progressive company would be like calling the civil unrest in the United States mostly peaceful protests. I mean, the people that work at Marvel, they're brainwashed. All of them, every single one of them have the exact same opinions on every single political issue. Just ask me what their opinions are on pro-guns. I will check CNN and I will tell you. You don't even need to talk to them. You don't even need to have a conversation. Like, you talk with one of them and you know exactly how all of them think. And despite the fact that they're hired in order to write comic books, they talk more about politics than the people at CNN. Even the Pope talks less about politics than any Marvel editor. It's absolutely ridiculous, right? So when you see this company that has like this massive Trump derangement syndrome, and they're really far to the left, that they're making comic books, just championing Antifa and championing no borders. Like, I could go on and on, but I'm pretty sure that if you're a Marvel fan, you know what I'm talking about. And like, you see all of these people that I guess like dedicated their lives now in order to get money to pay for Trump's campaign, right? Like, shouldn't they resign? Shouldn't they just quit their job now because they're complacent? Isn't that how the ideology works? Like, they're complacent now, like they're part of the evil. Oh, I see. No, it doesn't work like that when it actually affects your wage, when it actually affects your bottom line. And I'm pretty sure most of them are going to moan on the Twitter, and they might do some walkouts, and then they might cry a little bit, but at the end of the day, Marvel's money is good. The money from the mouse is good. So all of their political convictions, all of their finger wagging, and all of their moaning is going to go down to the shitter when it belongs, because these people are not going to do anything about it. I find it very difficult to believe that it is possible to hire people based on their ability to make comic books, and literally every single one has the same political opinions. Like, what are the odds? What are the chances? I'm pretty sure some of them are, like, in fact, most of them are probably politically neutral and don't give a single flying fuck about about politics. They just want to write comics. So they have to say the correct things on the Twitter. They have to pretend that they're like the zombies. It's like the scene from The Mummy where you have the zombies walking out going, Imhotep, Imhotep. And they, like, one of them has to pretend that they're the same so the zombies don't attack him. It's really like that's how it works for Marvel now. And there might even be a couple of other people that are Trump supporters. I mean, look, the Marvel chairman, is in with Trump. Like, the silent majority is real. I mean, people are literally afraid to talk about their political convictions. And honestly, when the opposition is willing to tax them 63% in taxes, are you kidding me? Like, the comic books is already a dying industry. I don't think it can take the brunt of it. It can't take the hit. Like, what's funny, like, these people don't understand. It's like, okay, tax the rich, progressive taxation. If you tax Marvel 63%, there's going to be layoffs at the company. Some of these chuckleheads that keep going, Trump is evil, Trump is bad, they're going to have either their wage cuts or they're going to be laid off if Trump loses. Like, they don't understand this. It's fascinating. They used to get like, I know a couple of AAA game developers and other people that work in the entertainment industry. and they actually got a wage increase. Because why? Because the tax cuts to the wealthy, to the corporations, allowed the corporations to pay them a little extra. It's so funny. It is absolutely funny to see. Oh, I guess this kind of explains why why Marvel is trying to ruin the comic book industry. Like the Drumpf, he infiltrated, he subverted them. maybe this is why. Hey, let's hire socialists because they're really bad with economics, and maybe they can bring this company down from the inside. Oh, I guess the picture with like Marvel going to vote. Oh, I guess this has a different meaning now, doesn't it? Holy crap! But like, no, seriously, like if you look at the SALT, and by the way, like they're also upset because I think it was the same guy. I might be wrong, but it was still a CEO at Marvel. I don't know if it was the same guy or someone else. But 4 years ago, he donated to the veteran cause that Donald Trump raised, and people were livid back then as well. It's like, what I find fascinating is that these people just cannot believe that someone can have different political opinions than them. It's like they just cannot find, like they don't click. They don't just, no, there's just one correct way of voting. It's like, okay, well then why aren't you advocating for the voting system to be removed, you damn chuckleheads? Like clearly you don't like democracy. Clearly you don't accept that there might be other alternatives. And not to mention, like, that this is something else that I never got. Like, they think they're revolutionaries, right? They think they're the ones championing for change and whatnot. And literally every single corporation is not only behind them, but is expected to be behind them. To the point when you have like just one CEO that donated money for Trump and is in the news, they freak the fuck out. And it's like, how is this possible? How is it possible? It's like, maybe the guy doesn't want to get 63% taxation. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. Like I hope they tax them. I hope they tax them. I hope so that they can see what it means when Marvel is going to go, well, shit. I mean, we can't stay in California anymore. It's not profitable. Let's move to some other place. And when they're going to move, a lot of people are going to end up staying behind and not being able to follow, losing their jobs. Because that's what it's going to end up. But like, oh my god, like making them think a little bit and try to analyze the situation is too much. It's like, no, Orange Man bad. That's it. That's like the matter. It's like, when you put the blinders on a horse and it can't see left and right anymore, it doesn't get like the bigger picture, it doesn't get context. This is how these people are. But I guess now I should buy Marvel Comics, huh? I mean, if I buy Marvel Comics, I know where my money is going. And look at this, like, look, the entire article. The entire article is like, oh, it all makes sense now. Like, this guy, look, he's friends with Trump, back from the WWE. Like, here's some newsflash, you dumbasses. Before Trump ran for office, like, do this, like, try this if you don't believe me, okay? Go on Google, and you have, like, the option to search for articles before 2015. And do that. Search for articles before 2015, and look for Donald Trump. You will not find a single, not just one negative article about him. They talk about him a lot, though, and all the stars and everyone is spinning around him, and they're trying to traffic influence with him, and they're praising that he's such a good businessman and he's such a nice guy and blah 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 blah. But like, not a single person calls him a sexist. Not a single person calls him any of the phobias. Not a single person calls him xenophobic. Not a single person calls him racist. Now what? Do you not find that bizarre? Do you not find that like a little bit weird? That like this didn't happen. It never happened. And after 2016, when he decides to run for office, all of a sudden all the smears started happening. Why is that? I mean, if a person is bad, shouldn't he be told that he is bad before? I mean, it's not like some guy that just popped up out of nowhere. Like, no, he was a public figure. A lot of people spinned around him. A lot of people knew him. A lot of people talked with him. And yet, not a single negative thing to say about him until after he decided to campaign, right? But no, like, clearly this is some conspiracy. And it's like, this is why voting with your dollars is important. It's not cancel culture. is not some Marxist scheme. It's literally capitalism in action. When private owners of finance refuse to patronize a company in protest. Dude, we've been doing this to Marvel for ages. You know, like, they don't care. This is funny because Derek is now, oh, we need to boycott Marvel. Here's the problem with boycotting Marvel. They're bypassing the consumer, you morons. I've been talking about this on my channel for a while now. You know, why do you think their comic books are starting to cost $10 a comic? Who the fuck pays $10 for a comic? I know, they make deals with people from libraries and people from schools, and they buy comics in bulk. And that's how they manage to sell their shit. Not to mention, like, another thing that's funny, they don't care about the consumer. They don't care about the little guy. Like, you're not their customers, believe it or not. Their customers are the comic book stores. The comic book stores, once they buy the comics in bulk, that's it. You know, deal is done. Well, I guess if the comic book stores think that this is a problem, then Marvel might have something to do with it. And then you're going to reach the third level of problematicism, which is the fact that Disney owns them. And the mouse, has infinite supplies of cash. You know, we've been trying to boycott Marvel for a while now. But it's not working. But yeah, you know, I just found it funny. Thought about talking about it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section.